We are back off the bye week. Josh Darrow, Christy Chirinos. Big matchup this week. Louisville, 12 o'clock ABC. And you can listen to us on 560 WQAM. Hard not to always talk about Cam Ward and what the offense is doing. But interesting behind the scenes, it took a little bit more than maybe meets the eye in terms of getting to this point.
Yeah, Cam and Xavier Restrepo have made it look a little effortless, haven't they? They've made it look a lot of the time, especially you think about that 77-yard grab against Cal, like how that fused that drive. But if you talk to them, both of them will tell you it took a minute to get here. And I thought that was really interesting after the game at Cal. I asked Cam about that and just building the chemistry with X. And I was thinking, he's going to say, hey, X is a hard worker, which he did. And he's going to say, hey, it was a lot of hard work getting here, which he did. But then he shared that it wasn't easy. And the first weeks at camp were a challenge trying to get that timing down, trying to get each other on the same page. And, but again, the work. You look at the two leaders those two guys are, you look at their work ethic. They were coming in extra, putting, time in together, watching film together, and they built that chemistry. They put that timing together. And now we're seeing what we're seeing from the two of them, and it's been amazing.
The same also applies to a guy like Isaiah Horton. I got a chance to talk to him before one of our games this year on the radio, and he almost echoed the same thing, why the change in your game? And he said, well, when you come in and when you work with a quarterback like Cam Ward and you see the ability he has, he raises those standards, and you don't want to let him down. So he also was sort of that self-accountability of like holding yourself to a standard that's being set by someone else, and also Cam infusing him with some confidence so that there's a belief factor as well. So it applies across the room.
Yeah, and then obviously you're seeing those results. Number one offense in the
Sometimes
country.
I do a double take, like, wait a second.
Yeah.
How awesome is that?
It's pretty fun. It's pretty fun. 6-0 is pretty fun. But, obviously now comes the big test, getting back after the bye, going to Louisville, and we will see how that shakes out.
Yes, obviously there's an intersecting storyline here, which is that there's a man that has touched both programs in terms of Howard Schnellenberger. Yeah. And Coach Cristobal is very aware of the impact that man had not only on this program, certainly for a kid growing up in the city, but also what he's done for that school, because he's very meaningful for the opponent this weekend as well.
Yes, Coach Cristobal could not speak highly enough of Howard Schnellenberger's impact on both programs. And even if you think about it, a little bit north on 95 up to FAU, he was a program builder for Miami, for Louisville, for FAU. And, as he was kind of sharing those stories, he said that Howard Schnellenberger was his dad's favorite. And if you know anything about, hardworking families and the impact those conversations must have had, when Coach Schnellenberger was recruiting the Cristobal boys, he could not speak highly enough about him. And I thought it was really interesting. He's like, my dad loved him. He was my dad's favorite.
Well, I think there's some internal reset going on, right? Like Howard Schnellenberger built up the program immediately, and Coach Cristobal sort of came in with the same desires of getting Miami to the point where everyone is accustomed to. So that ethos, right, of hard work drives through that, which leads us to our last thing. Xavier Restrepo. Hey, we had a little players-only meeting. It kind of lets that go on ESPN. And then the follow-up this week, which I love that he said, is we're not satisfied being 6-0. And for me, you just have to love the hunger and the desire.
I think that is, you talk to these guys enough, and that's what you keep hearing. This is a hungry team. This is a team that recognizes they have the ability to do something really special here. And so when you think about players-only meetings, you always think about teams that struggle are the ones having those. Right, you're 1-5, you're 0-6, and here they are at 6-0. The leadership council is saying, guys, let's drill down during the bye week. Let's focus on what we need to fix. Let's know we can be even better than we've been. And I think, again, that's just a testament to the culture that's been built here. It's a testament to the leaders in that locker room and the work ethic that they have. And again, they know this has the potential to be something really special, and they want to make sure that happens.
I think it also speaks to, in a weird way, you look at the portal, right? And you get guys who are coming here for a very specific reason, right? They have 1 year left. And they want to make the most of it. Or you have a guy like Xavier Restrepo or Jalen Rivers who's returning in. This has been it, but this is it. And how do you want it to finish? So I think it's great.
Yeah, it's been a lot of fun to watch, and now we have to keep it going.
All right, Christy, thank you very much. One last thing. Let's put in the context the kind of season Cam Ward is having. 20 touchdowns through 6 games. His last 2 years at Washington State, the most he threw for an entire season was 25. The best offense in the nation, the highest scoring offense in the nation. If he stays on pace, my simple math, 40 touchdowns, 10 interceptions, that will be better than Drake May and Michael Penix last year and Bryce Young 2 years ago. How about more context? He is averaging almost 370 yards a game. If that continues, it'll be the best in the Power 5 since 2019. Anthony Gordon at Washington State and Joe Burrow at LSU. Cam Ward, it has been phenomenal to watch. He is doing things otherworldly, and he's also doing things that are potentially record-breaking. Coming up Saturday, Louisville and Miami. Another chance to see Cam Ward, 12 o'clock on ABC and 560 QAM if you want to listen. This has been another edition of Cover 2.